Bazilah dibantu co-host Yais. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the University of Science and Computer Technology STEKOM University in Semarang, Indonesia. For the webinar international event, Become a Productive Generation in the Society 5.0 era. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Novita and I will be hosting you for today's event. Now, please let me welcome our special guest for today. Welcome to the Honorable Dr. Joseph Teguh Santoso as a Rector from STEKOM University, Indonesia. To the Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Doria Islamiah Rosli as a Principal Research Center of Research Sustainable Professional Education for Excellent Development, Faculty of Technical and Vocational Education from Universiti Tun Hussein, Malaysia. To the Honorable T.S. Dr. Bazilah Talip as a Senior Lecturer, Head of Teknoputra Section from Universiti Kuala Lumpur. To the Honorable Miss Ida Hendriyani M.Hum as a Lecturer of Department Computer System and Computer Technology from the STEKOM University. And last but not least, also to the Honorable guests and audience. Before we begin, I have a few housekeeping notes here. Today's session is being live streamed on Universitas STEKOM YouTube channel. And for today even, we will start with Indonesian National Anthems, Gus Santoso, as a Rector from STEKOM University. We will start our main event presentation by our special guest for today and continue with a Q&A session and then for picture and closing. Further, for the square of this morning agenda, we will sing our national anthems. So, Mr. Faiz, you can start for the video. Thank you. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First, now we will invite to the stage most responsible person for the conduction of this skill international event to give an opening speech from Dr. Joseph Teguh Santoso. Yeah, for Dr. Joseph, the time is yours. Thank you. Your voice still mute, sir.
Tes. Bisa?
Bisa.
Dengar?
Terdengar.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today my greetings and to all the participants and also the honorable speakers and all the students and all the audience. May I first take this occasion to pay tribute to all of the audience of this webinar international event with the title Become a Productive Generation in Society 5.0 Era, organized by the University of Science and Computer Technology or STEKOM University in collaboration with Universiti Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. And welcome to the Honorable Associate Professor, yes, Dr. Islamiah Rosli, Principal Researcher, Center of Research Sustainable, Professor Education for Excellent Development, Faculty of Technical and Vocational Education for UTHM, and Dr. Bazilah Talip, Senior Lecturer, Head of Teknoputra Section from UniKL, and Ms. Hendriyani, Lecturer of Computer Department System of Computer Technology from STEKOM University, and also the students and the audience. And we are so glad to have all of you in this national webinar today. That will present insightful idea according to your field and expertise in this topic. And it is a great pleasure to welcome all of you to this international webinar. And I believe this event will improve the knowledge and experiences of all participants and provide significant scientific contribution. Let me share a little bit that will trigger the topic of the international webinars today. We have what we said in this topic is become a productive generation in Society 5.0 era. And however, we need to know that we well prepared to be productive. Is that we already, is that me or yourself, is that have the ability to become a productive person? Is that we prepare everything to become a productive person? Is that we have the ambition to become the productive person? Is that we already learned something to become, we have the knowledge to become the productive persons. And it's not about only the productive matter. It's also involve the other things that can be that able to make our productivity to get stronger and become our habit, to become our daily, what we like to do and what we commonly and very easily to become a productive person. And we need to learn, and we need to make the productive things become our habit in the society 5.0 era, because as we know is that a lot of things that make us not really productive in our daily life. For example, the disturb we disturb about something that actually not in focus in our what we done, what we did at that time. And and also about the interruption from other things in our daily life. So when we get into the process of what we need to do, become not productive because there is a lot of interruption, and it's stop our focus. Yeah, in our competing. And also, there's a lot of social media things that we know, but it's very amusing and a lot of entertainment that just one or two click between ourselves, our mobile phones, or our smartphones. As we know that is through our smartphones, even the children with small kids can spend more than 1-2 hours just for scrolling the content of the entertainment through the mobile. And that quite and that is very amusing for us, but like what we will talk to today's topic is we will talk about the society in 5.0 era, and of course as a education institution we need to learn and teach how to become productive generation for the teachers, lecturers, and also for the students. Need to shape to become productive generation persons, not to become degrade or not non-productive person. Because the probability that we can change our future, our success, our dream what to approach can be can have more higher probability. No, how to constantly become a productive person and in our daily life also become a productive person. Okay, that's all. And I also like to thanks to our international affairs organization of STEKOM University. And finally, I wish all of you, students, the lecture, enjoy this program today for the presentation. Also, how you get the knowledge. Thank you and enjoy this program. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for Dr. Joseph for the your conduction. And we will go to the main event for all the speaker. Yeah, if you have any question from the speaker, please add them in the chat and there will be answer to some of them during the Q&A session after our presentation. Today, we will have about 30 minutes for presentation. Yeah, now let's please welcome our first presenter, Associate Professor Dr. Dorida Islamiah Rosli from University Tun Hussein on. Yeah, for Dr. Doria, the time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Novita. Hold on, I would like to share my slides. All right, so you can see my slides. Yep. Okay, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day, everyone. First of all, thank you very much to the organizer, Universitas STEKOM, for inviting me. It was quite a new topic for me to share with you, to share with all of you today. But hopefully, I will try my best to share whatever I have experienced in regards to the development of Society 5.0. Even though it's not totally involved in the Society 5.0, we are heading towards it, right? So I'm Doria Islamiah from the Faculty of Technical and Vocational Education. And also, I think I would like to introduce myself first before we proceed with the topic. Right, so I'm Doria Islamiah binti Rosli. I am graduated from Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, and currently I was the Deputy Director at the Center for Virtual Learning and focusing on developing digital content for our team in Universiti Tun Hussein Malaysia. So we are towards heading in developing micro-credentials, massive open online learning, and also focusing into the digital and learning tools. Right, so I am one of the COR-SPEED researcher as well, focusing into the study of teaching and learning pedagogical, and also focusing on qualitative methods. I am one of the Ministry of Higher Education digital educator trainer, and one of the and also the Malaysian Board of Technologists member. My research interest is actually focusing on cognitive awareness, user interface design. So everything is actually related on human-machine interactions. So you can also look into my publications. Everything is actually in the orientations of cognitive awareness and involving participatory analysis, and also focusing in teaching and learning system application development, especially in 2D-dimensional applications and also 3D-dimensional applications. Right. So for today's content, on the topic become a productive generations in the society 5.0, I think the main agenda is actually focusing into how we as the one of the future generations, how we try to act upon heading towards society 5.0. So this is actually the brief content of my sharing session, which actually focusing into society. Why is it society for 5.0, and also what are the national initiatives and also agenda that has been planned out by Malaysia especially, and also how we as an academician act upon the national initiatives and agenda towards in developing the society 5.0, and also what are the responsibilities as productive generations. And also, in order for us to be productive, we need to know what are the things we need to tackle. So we need to know what are our responsibilities, what we would like to become in the future, and where are you going to live, because we would like to live in a very peaceful environment where lots of facilities, lots of connections, very easily for us to access on all the resources around. So that was actually a rough idea of the Society 5.0 environment. All right. So why Society 5.0? I bet some of you have looked into these transitions from Society 1.0 until Society 5.0. These are actually the revolutions of it, on how people try to change through the society, the role of the society, productive approach, how is the machines actually changing, the functions changing from the physical strength until the automated system. And then also, how about the transportation? So everything is changing from Society 1.0 until Society 5.0. And also, what are the city likes, the city ideas? And what is the Society 5.0? How is the city environment the Society 5.0 would like to be? All right, so these are some of the things that we need to cater, that we need to cope with the development. We need to bear with all the plannings and also initiatives. We need to give full cooperation, maximize all the resources, so that we can live in a very peacefully in the future, with lots of facilities equipped for us, and also we can live happily ever after with our family. So that will be the goal of the Society 5.0. Right. So if you try to go one by one, this is actually the transition from the Society 1.0 until Society 5.0, where at first people are actually focusing into developing the products. They try to collect things, they try to produce things, using the physical strength without any support from the machines. And when it moves to the Society 2.0, people are actually focusing into agriculture. So they try to produce closing, they try to produce product, mass productions, for instance, lots of physical strength, lots of laborers, lots of workers need to be hired at this time around because they need to produce mass productions in the era of society 2.0. Where when it goes to the society 3.0, where this is the time where all the machines are developed, all the robots are being developed to replace the human being, right? So it is a little bit scary because there are intention for replacing routine works done by the human being will be replaced in the future by the machines, all right? So what is our responsibility? Do you want to be replaced by all the robots? So how are you going to tackle this? So if you are really smart enough, I think you need to be very clear. What are the things that need to be that you can do with without the support of the machines? All right. So that is how you try to highlight your strength, the skills that might needed for you to think of, at the moment until towards in the future. All right, because you want to remain to be hired to have a job in the future, to live happily in the future. So these are the things that actually sometimes be concerned by all the people around. All right. So when we try to move into society 4.0, at this moment, actually, we are overloaded with lots of information. So lots of data, everyone can access on our personal data, for instance. Everyone can search and looking into who you are. All right. So how are we going to manage this data so that this data, if you try to manage it appropriately, you can cluster it, you can, with the supports of the machines, eventually those data can help us to make a decision. So at least some of the works or some of the tasks can be managed by the system and help us to reduce, perhaps sometimes for us to do, let's say without the support of the machines, we may take a longer time for us to manage the data, but then with the help of the system, we try to reduce the workload and also the time. All right, so at least you can make a fast decision, you can make your work simpler. So this is how we try to cope with the society at the era of the society 4.0. And at the society 5.0, we try to maximize all the resources. We try to produce super smart machines. We try to use the AI agents so that we can produce quality products. We can use good and quality usable products, for instance. All right. So this is the challenges that we need to face. These are the stage where we need to fulfill all the skills that cannot be supported by the machines. So therefore, we are the human being. You need to have a very good decision making. You are capable of doing decision making, problem solving. So those are the skills actually that require us to take charge in the future. All right. So as you see, the transportations are also changing. At first, you try to commute, walking, and also without any vehicles. For instance, we try to use cars, and if let's say in the society 4.0, we try to use multi-mobility. So at this stage, we try to use any sort of transportations. You can use Grab car, even you can get your food truck be transported to you in front at your house, for instance. So you can use any transportations in order for you to move at one place to another place. And also, interestingly, in the society 5.0, we try to cope. They try to create such environment where autonomous driving take place. Let's say, for example, you can see lots of examples in China, especially they try to create the road with lots of sensors, no accidents, for instance, so you can actually reduce the accidents rate. on the road, for instance, if you have the autonomous driving, and also you can very easily, allocate the transport, you can access, you can plan your schedule, for instance, for you to travel from one place to another. So it gives you so much time and ample time for you to decide, and then, to plan out for you to live, to have a better life in the future, right? That will be the aim of the Society 5.0. So if you go to the, these are also some of the example, form of settlement. You can see the revolutions of how the development progressing very fast, especially in Malaysia. And also, I bet also in Indonesia as well, because I can, later on, I will share with you some of the development or the initiatives that has been planned out in Malaysia on how we try to cope with those agenda and also those initiatives for us to live in the future, all right? So until towards the society, because we are at the stage of this era, Society 4.0, all the cities are get connected one another, for example, in Kuala Lumpur and also Johor. So we have a triangulations of industries where we try to share lots of data in those big cities. And also we can actually get connected transportation. So we have lots of, highways from Peninsular Malaysia, and also in Borneo. For instance, we have Pen Borneo Highway. We also have Lebuh Raya Utara Selatan, especially in Peninsular Malaysia, and also on how we try to manage those big cities. So we have also come out with smart cities. One of the example is actually Bandar Iskandar in Johor. So me myself, I actually observe for all the development process. I really admire those people who are working on it. And me as the Malaysian citizen, I need to support whatever initiatives or agenda working towards into developing the good environment such as the Society 5.0, right? So why Society 5.0? The goal of the Society 5.0 actually requires comfort in all aspects of life, especially in energy. Nowadays, we are seemingly very hot because, everything is in control. For instance, everything is automated. So we need to cope with all those advancements of technology sent over into the organizations. We need to cope and learn. We need to become a very fast learner to learn lots of technology available around us. All right. So, and also of course, in terms of the transportations, so everyone very easy for to commute, especially the kids nowadays. No need for them to wait for their parents to to send over for tuitions or also for schools, because they can call a Grab, for instance. All right. So even the parents also can monitor the activities for the children. So at least the parents felt very safe and also happy because their kids are actually at the safe place. All right. So because they can monitor through mobile phone and etc. And of course, medical care. This is also one of the important things in the future, Society 5.0, because there's one example in Japan. They would like to create this one city where there's a lot of, the industry is actually at one place, and also the organization, you can see all the medical care, child care. So everything is at one place. So everyone can actually send their kids at on the cities, and all the cities are equipped with all lots of facilities where people can work happily in that particular cities. So that are actually on how they try to design the city, the future Society 5.0, where everyone can live happily, work calmly, for the future. So, and of course, one of the requirements also especially for everyone, is also the shopping, the places where you can go shopping, you can go for entertainment, you can go for work and also leisure. You can also go for sports and also to increase the facilities of, especially in educations, all right? Because we need some Wi-Fi, we need some hybrid learning. You can also, at least you can learn everywhere. You need to cope with all the facilities that equip for the educations, all right? So end up for society, why Society 5.0 is due to the results from vast data that actually contribute to fast retrieval data processing, and also data generating and decision making. So how we try to manage those data, make it into a meaningful data, so that those meaningful data can help human beings to make a better decision in the future. You can do lots of things supported by all the machines and etc. We have lots of, electrical appliances that can help all the wives, and also so that they can, at least someone is taking care at home, handling the house and etc. Right? So real world data are collected, analyzed, and also to derive real world solutions. So that was actually some of the aims of the Society 5.0. If you can go back, this is actually the definitions of Society 5.0 based on Hitachi Tokyo Laboratory. So this is actually the plan on how they try to come out with a framework to build up a smart cities where that can equip lots of facilities, and also facilities, and also support system in the area. So community, societies, social media communications, they interact, they get connected with one another, lots of Wi-Fi, everyone can access for all the informations, for instance. And also at the nearby cities, they have all these factories, industries, organizations, everyone can easily access on all the information, can settle all the bills and etc. at one place. So they try to localize things, everything can be done at one place. So the schools are there, the childcare are there, the medical health are there, the hospitals are there, and also the elderly care are also there. So everyone can actually supporting, and also, can live happy ever after. That was the goal in Society 5.0, right? So in terms of communication systems, they try to improve, lots of Wi-Fi, for instance, provide lots of resources. Everyone can access all the information at one place within a click, for instance, right? Energy saving, this one is actually reflects on the sustainability, where if let's say, for example, at one place, equipped with lots of autonomous system, actually everyone can control. You can reduce the energy, for instance, right? Everything is controllable just in one click. Okay, traffic system, especially if you can see from the previous transition history, coming from Society 1.0 until Society 5.0, we've isolated regional, villages or islands and states, for instance. They come up with a very structured development in the cities. So they equip with transportations, with you have LRT, for example. One of the example is Putrajaya itself. We can also have access on Iskandar Putri, where they try to localize things at the city's area. So everything is there, accessible for everyone. So these are some of the framework that actually have been developed by certain countries to reach upon into Society 5.0. All right. So what are some of the examples of national initiatives and agenda? So these are some of the examples that I would like to share with all of you. Smart cities towards livable Malaysia. So if you can see, these are the transitions of the development heading towards the Society 5.0. And of course, we are in the era of 4.0, but we are heading there, provide all the facilities, technologies, automated system, and etc. So eventually you can see smart livable cities where all are equipped with lots of facilities and functionalities. Everyone can access happily with all the resources. All right. And then this is also the landscape that has been adopted, just like the one that's suggested by the author just now, right? By Hitachi. So these are some of the framework that has been adopted in Malaysia to develop smart city, my smart city, and quality and smart living. Right, so if you can see cities that uses ICT and technology advancements, one of the example you can see in Putrajaya itself, you can also see in Iskandar Putri in Johor area. So the development wise, everything is very structured, centralized, everyone can access. Even we try to open up for outsiders to live in Johor area. For instance, lots of Singaporeans actually bought bought a house and live in Johor, for instance, right? At the same time, to improve quality of life, promote economic growth, develop sustainable and also safe environment. When it is centralized, everyone is safe. So at least, we have a very structured living. You can enjoy lots of things during if you have ample time to do things, with the supports of the machines and robots and etc. in the future. So encourage efficient urban management practices. So I think in this context, I think most of the universities, I bet in Universitas STEKOM as well, we are planning and heading towards developing digital content to make access for everyone to learn. Everyone can access. Even the students at the rural area also can access lots of resources. So we try to set up such conducive environment where everyone able to learn in the future. So these are some of the examples that you can actually refer to in regards to comprehensive development plan. This is actually an example of the Iskandar Malaysia, where they try to start off the development in a very structured way, which leads to the Society 5.0 smart economy. They have like 6 dimensions, starting from smart economy, smart environment, where they try to focus on sustainability, smart mobility, transport, especially focus on transportation, and also smart governance, where they try to centralize the human resource management databases, for instance, for all the organizations where everyone can access. You can simply, retrieve lots of information, can be accessed in medical, in schools, in higher institutions, and etc. Smart living, for instance, and also you focus on educational quality, focus on cultural facilities, for instance, health conditions, etc. So that's the 6 dimensions that Malaysia's government focusing heading towards Society 5.0, and also smart people, caring for one another, racial harmony, and also skilled and talented human capital. All right. So these are some of the development that you can observe when you try to drop down into Malaysia. We can see inclusive Iskandar Malaysia, mainstream wealth sharing through spatial development to achieve a resilient and inclusive society in Iskandar. Everyone can have an enjoyable time, mix around during Hari Raya, during the Eid, for instance, right? During the Chinese New Year, for instance, Gawai very soon in June, right? Greening Iskandar, this is focusing on the environment, where they try to focus on more forests into the city, for instance, so everyone can access on the, into the natural environment. And also this is for entertainment. For instance, we have Legoland, everyone can access and enjoy and have ample time, and then bring their kids. Even you can spend the whole day at the leisure area, and it's actually family friendly. And focusing into Iskandar Port, this is also in the area of Pasir Gudang in Johor. So all are actually centralized, right? So you can access at one place, everything can be accessed at one place. And also this is actually focusing into the safety area, where we try to monitor the all specific areas where I think you can actually be safe, feel safe whenever you try to access into the Iskandar area. So this is how they try to localize all these cities, especially in JB City Center. So we have it in, this is for entertainment area, for businesses. We have Nusajaya, Kota Iskandar, and also Western Gate Development. This one is actually for transportations, for transporting goods and products. Eastern Gate Development and also Senai Skudai, especially for transportations. So everything can be accessed. I bet this is actually the planning for us to, moving forward to the Society 5.0. So these are some of the changes that has been developed by the Malaysian government, especially to go for the Society 5.0, where we try to focus on branding of the Iskandar Puteri, provision and comprehensive pedestrian linkages. We try to communicate and easy access on every transportations in the city, right? Enhancements of heritage, cultural, and improve on the social infrastructure, especially related on the Wi-Fi, internet connections, and etc. Enhance existing commercial activities, promotions on tourism, because we can get lots of tourism coming in, especially from Korea, from Singapore, from Japan as well. Actually, get access into Legoland, and some of the our heritage area in especially in Malacca, for instance. So that is also one of the example. Promotions for private partnerships, incentives, establishments of food and cultural activities, and also promotions of art and related activities. So everything is actually compact into at one place. So I think we as the future generation, I think we need to be very positive and take it positively, yeah. On the initiatives and also agenda towards Society 5.0. So back to the responsibilities as productive generations. If you can see, this is actually the global issues where you try to click on Malaysia. So if you can see, these are some of the skills that might be needed. That is our responsibilities on tackling the issues. Are you going to be a good digital communications or VR developer, so science innovations, fourth industrial revolutions? Are you ready for the revolutions of industries, technologies, and etc.? Are you going to be an entrepreneur in the future? So how are you going to cope with all those development process, right? So these are the things when I try to click into the education skills and learning. So these are some of the areas that actually be concerned in the future, artificial intelligence. So at least you have in mind how you try to cope with the system that actually lead on artificial intelligence. Do you need to have the skills? If you say you require, if you would like to live in the future with lots of systems, I think you need to gain those skills, all right? You need to capture those skills. You need to be very innovative in the future. And then if you try to narrow down what other course of skills might be needed in the future, for instance, you need to be innovative, you need to be social innovations, you need to be social protections, you need to have a future work. Are you going to have are you ready to work at home or everywhere everywhere, for instance, so if you try to click back into Indonesia, I think the patterns is almost the same, right? So when you try to click for the education skills and learning, what are the global issues? So it's the same thing. Virtual, much really needed into the virtual environment, pandemic preparedness and responses. So this is where medical care is very important for the society, future of computing. So those are the skills that might be needed for the future, right? So especially in digital fluency and STEM skills. So yeah, once again, so these are some of the skills that might be needed for the future. So we as the educators, we as the students, for instance, how are you going to play a role to take place if, let's say, for example, you want to create and support the government to have this Society 5.0. And these are the things that you need to highlight as an educator myself. I would like to instill those values. I would like to instill those skills into my teaching and learning process. For instance, they are emphasizing on digitalizations. How are you going to create such learning activities that emphasize on digitalizations? Are you going to use micro-credentials? Are you going to use the tools, the technology tools for assessment, etc., etc.? You as the students, for instance, are you ready to cope with learning using TikTok, using Twitter, for instance, working remotely? Are you ready? Automations, how we try to equip ourselves and to have a DEPT mindset, to cope with all those technologies. So these are some of the fields that actually might be needed for the future, where you can actually plan. Where are you heading to? Are you going to be a productive generation or not to be contributed? Are you going to very eager? Do you really want to have this peaceful environment to live in the future? So let's working together, equip ourselves with lots of skills, with lots of technology skills. You need to learn by yourself. You need to be very productive, and then you need to be very positive towards it. Because if not for yourself, it's for your future generations, for your kids in the future, right? So these are also some of the learning skills that has been highlighted through the issues and globals that generated by the in the economic forum just now, So for instance, we need to be very good in complex problem solving, critical thinking, analytical thinking, active learning person, for instance. You need to be ready to learn lots of things, be able to dig and find lots of resources out there. So you need to learn by yourself first, then you try to move forward. Be resilient, be cooperative, be resilient, ready to have change, and then also try to be yourself to be a very good leader, creative, and also technology design. Be able to give reasonings, mentoring or peer mentoring. So these are some of the skills or some of the fields that actually has been highlighted, which it may trigger us as an educator and also as a student for us to gather to work forward, to create those such environment for the society 5.0. Do I have time? Do I have some time again? I think it's almost 30 minutes. Novita, can I get some 5 minutes?
Yes, is it okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
all right.
is it okay?
Okay. So these are some of the Malaysian digital economy blueprint as well. So you can see, you can tackle. You as an educator, I think you can tackle and focusing on which one do you wanted to take a role, right? Let's say, for example, you as an educator, are you going to leverage digital technologies in your teaching and learning, for instance, enhancing digital skill sets of civil servants? We are the civil servants. So how are you going to equip with digital skills? Are you go for training? So you need to be very open-minded. You need to go moving forward. Equip yourself with those skills. And then once you got the skills, you need to transfer it to your students, all right? And then the students actually very fast learner. I think they are moving forwards towards it. So these are some of that agenda that has been planned throughout the years until 2030 in Malaysia, especially in heading towards society 5.0. I would like to live in a very safe place in the future with my kids, with my families, with my parents. So why not? We try to take a first step. Support our government, support the organizations, for instance, all right, to equip ourselves and to help them to prepare this conducive environment for us to live in the future, right? So in regards to that, okay, back to as a role as an educator. So this is also one of the planning for us to produce quality educations. It reflects where our role as an educator is to equip our students with those skills about which will be required in the future. All right. So how are we going to plan for it? Right. So these are some of the examples. This is called experiential learning and competency-based education landscape that has been adopted in Malaysia, where we try to include those features, industry-driven features, community resilience, research-infused kind of mental set, and also personalized learning into the academic program. So we need to embed those features. We need to actually plan on how we try to be engaged with the industry so that the students will have an exposure, all right, to learn new things, to learn new technologies, to get an experience with the industries. So, and also how are we return back our experience or our services to the community. So that will be the engagement that needs to be highlighted in our academic program, where we try to instill those good values towards our students, all right? And also personalized learning, this is actually for the readiness, how we try to create some flexible programs where we try to actually offer certain programs to every levels of students. For instance, working students, they also can go to take their degree, for instance, all right? So to take the certifications and yeah, lots of things, all right? And this is where we try to instill research-infused skills towards our students, so that they will have those capabilities in doing problem solving, doing research, analyze lots of data, and then, selected the best data that actually meant for them. All right. So these are some of the things that has been planned in Malaysia. And we as an educator, we need to take charge of it. And then also on how we try to equip and prepare our students so that when they graduated, they came out, so they are ready with those facilities and etc. Right. So these are some of the examples, high impact educational practices that also has been adopted in our academic program. All right. So I just highlighted with you. There are 12 elements of it. So we try to map up into our programming program starting from first year, second year, third year, and also senior. So through these activities and also planning, we try to instill those values and that skills needed for the futures. All right. So hopefully we equip our students, especially for those skills, so that they are ready moving forward to the society 5.0. These are some of the examples that I would like to share with you on how we try to practice it. All right. So from that 12 HIPs or 4 initiatives in Excel just now. So we try to transform it into learning activities. All right. So through the learning activities, we try to engage the students with the industries. We try to help them to instill the skills of using the technology, for instance, solving communities' problems, for instance, promoting the products and etc. So lots of learning activities that we can actually try to share with our students. So hopefully they are really ready for the future. So these are some of the examples. Let's say, for example, instill creativity and engagement. For this task, they need to solve real issues coming from the community. So they try to develop the product and they try to promote the product and helping the people. So this is also one of the example where the students actually give services to the community. Right. So industry enterprise engagement, focusing on sustainability, saving the environment, where the students take the role, to instill and share their knowledge to the outside world. All right. And then this is also one of the example of the learning activities, promoting some of the products from the community, from the medium and small industries. Okay, so these are some of the exposure that actually you, as the educators, provide for your students, and hopefully your students can, have those experiences on how they try to deal with community, to solve certain problems. So that are some of the things that has been outlined and laid out in our academic program. All right. So engaging students through learning activities. So these are also some of the basic technology skills that instilled by that we also included in. So they need to cope with on how they try to use the technology during teaching and learning, right? So these are some of the research skills, maybe provide information that we can actually accommodate to our students, all right? So these are some of the sessions, all right, on how we try to plan out those, plan out and also adopt those initiatives into when you try to act as an educator, you as the students, on how you try to complement each other for us to, be together to support for all the initiatives and also the agenda coming from outlined by our government, from our organizations, and also in order for us to create a better future. All right. All right. So yeah, sorry for taking about 10 minutes or so. Yeah. So I think for further information, if you would like to seek for further inquiries or further information, you can also contact me through the email. And also, yeah, I'm willing to share, what are the things that actually have been practiced back in Malaysia. All right, so I pass it back to you, Novita.
Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation, Miss Doria.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and then we will go to the next speaker for Miss Ida Hendriyani from STEKOM University. Yeah, for Miss Ida, the time is yours. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity for being international speaker today. Yeah, okay. Today in this special international webinar related to be a productive generation in the society 5.0, I'd like to present my topic related to empowering the youth, leading to be the change. Empowering the youth, leading to be the world change maker in the society 5.0. Okay, it is essential empowering young leaders, leading them to be the world change makers in the society 5.0. How to be innovative and productive leaders. Yeah, warmly I present about my presentation slides. Let me introduce myself. Yeah, my name is Ida Hendriyani. I'm a lecturer of STEKOM University in the Faculty of Computer Science. And in my presentation, I would like to discuss several main points. The first one, understanding the society 5.0 era. And second one, development of the society 5.0 era. And three, how to be a productive young leader. And five, empowering the youth, leading the world change maker in the society 5.0. Yeah. Okay, technology has definitely made our life easier and in many respects, but it's also disrupting industry and even entire society, forcing us to adapt. Society 5.0 is the era of VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So young leaders or young people need to be adaptive, creative, and innovative. Yeah, what is society 5.0? I get one definition, a human-centered society that balance economics advanced with the resolution of social problems by a system that highly integrates cyberspace and physical space. Society 5.0 was proposed in the fifth Science and Technology Basic Plan as the future society in Japan. So Japan is the pioneer of declare a society 5.0. Japan should aspire to hunting society, society 1.0, agriculture society, society 2.0, industrial society 3.0, and information society 4.0. Okay, so how society 5.0 works? Yeah, society 5.0 achieves a high degree of convergence between cyberspace or virtual space and physical space or real space. In the past information society or society 4.0, people will access a good service. This like a big database in cyberspace via internet and for retrieve and analyze information or data. So in the society 5.0, a huge amount of information from sensors in the physical space is accumulated in cyberspace. In cyberspace, the big data is analyzed by artificial intelligence, or we call it AI, and the analysis results are fed back to humans in physical space in various forms. I'm sorry, Novita. Okay, in my home, there is a Adam sound. Could we, what is it? Break first for 3 minutes. It's okay. Or we continue. I just respect you the azan sound. Novita boleh break dulu karena di rumah saya lagi ada azan.
Oh, boleh.
3 minutes, okay? Okay.
Oke, atau mau dilanjut langsung ke next speaker gitu, Miss?
Yeah, okay. Okay, I will continue.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, how society 5.0 works? Yeah, society 5.0 balance, economic development and solve social issues. So we have to balance, as the leader have to balance economic developments and solve social issues. Not focus on the problems, but how to solve or to find the solution or to find the problem solving. It can be that environment surrounding Japan and the world is an era of drastic change. As the economy grows, life is becoming prosperous and convenient. Demand for energy and foodstuff is increasing. Lifespan is becoming longer, and the aging society is advanced. In addition, the globalization of the economy is progressing. International competition is becoming increasing. Several and problems such as the concentration of wealth and regional inequality are growing. Yeah, okay, I'd like you to differ between society 4.0 and society 5.0. Okay, in society 4.0, focus on economies of scale, liberation from focus on efficiency, effective and efficiency. And the second one, uniformity. Uniformity is liberation from separation of individuality, and concentration, liberation from disparity and vulnerability, liberation from anxiety, and height. Yeah, and high environmental aspect. Yeah, high environmental aspect. Okay, how about society 5.0? Okay, so in society 5.0, we focus on problem solving and value creation. So as young leaders or the young people, we focus on problem solving, not only the problems, but how to solve the problems, how to create some values from the problems. So society where value is created. And the second one, diversity. A society where anyone can exercise diverse abilities. And the third one, decentralization. A society where anyone can get opportunities anytime and anywhere. And the fourth one, resilience. So in society 5.0, as a young leader, we have to get a resilience, or we have to have a resilience. A society where people can live and pursue challenges in security. So sustainability and environmental harmony. Yeah, a society where a human client lives in harmony with nature. So we need social transformation. Yes, there are many aspects that change the structure and culture of society. Again, this development of society 5.0, okay, start from 1.0 till society 5.0. Revolution 1.0 just focused on coexistence. Yes, agrarian society. Revolution 2.2 focused on development of irrigation technology from establishment of a settlement, or we call it industrial society. And 3.0 invention of steam. Invention of steam locomotive, start mass production. And revolution 4.0 focus on information society, or we call it era digital, or digital era. And in society 5.0, we focus on super smart society. So focus on the people and how to combine with the information society. Yeah. Yes, society 5.0 balance economic advance with resolution social problems. So they are how to create economic advancement and resolution of social problems. Yeah. Next, how to be a productive young leader. Okay, as a leader, we need to build a resilient leader, building a resilient leadership to navigate through the upcoming crisis or problems. And the second one, reframing and transforming their organization, taking a long-term perspective and getting ready for the fundamental change that they are ahead of by reframing and transforming the organization. So these are two characters of resilient leader. And okay, in the leadership would be 3 P's. Yeah, there are 3 P's. Okay, I'll just share about my own experience. Last month I was selected as a honorable delegate as a Asia young leaders. Actually, this conference is about empowering a Muslim pursuing a global peace and leading to be the world change makers. So this conference just attended only 30 young leaders from 5 countries in Asia Pacific regions. So when I was selected as the best ASEAN leader, or the best ASEAN young leader, I got I got experience that to be effective or innovative leader, we need 3 points, right? Person as a leader and purpose. We focus on the goal or purpose of our life or our organization, and people. How to influence people? Okay, as a leader, we have to know how to influence people or how to influence followers, and how to the people or how to the followers achieve our purpose or our goals. So persons or leader just committed to the goal, and they influence people to get or achieve their purpose or the goals. Yeah, purpose. Okay, persons here. Okay, I wanna ask you, is a leadership position? Okay, leader is a person or a leadership position of office or authority, or is a leadership an ability in the sense that he or she is a leader because she leads. Okay, which one? Which one here? Which one you choose? The first one or the second one? Yeah, but okay, not both of them. Yeah, but a leader, by its meaning, is one who guides first and leads by example, so that others are motivated to follow him or her. Actually, they can lead by him or herself, and they can inspire others to follow or to follow them. Okay, to be a leader, a person trusts have a deep-rooted commitment. If the goal that he will strive to achieve is even if nobody follows him or her. Yeah, purpose. Okay, so focus on the purpose or goals. Purpose requirements of leadership is personal vision, the ability to visualize your goal as an accomplished fact, a thing already achieved. And the very essence of leadership is that you have to have vision. Vision here is a goal or have a purpose in your organization, and you cannot blow up a certain trumpet. And the leader has to be practical and realist, yet a master of the language of the visionary and the idealist. Yeah. So why are some individuals more effective than others at influencing people? Yeah, because effectiveness in leadership has been attributed to the first one, persuasion skills. How to persuade people, how to motivate people, or how to influence people to follow them. And the second one, leadership style. There are some leadership styles in every leader, and 3 personal attributes of the leader. Yeah, okay, factor of leadership. The main point or the essential role in leadership is communication. So communication here is between a leader and followers. So there are 2 ways communications, and they are good or effective communications. So if a leader has a good at communication, so it's easy for him or her to get to influence followers or to people to follow them or to get with the leader. And the other factors of leadership, leader, you must have an honest understanding and who you are, what you know, and what you can do. So you have to know yourself first, who you are, and your it's about your strengths, and it's about your weakness, and what you know, and then what you want, and what you call, so what you can do after you decide, or after you achieve the purpose of the course. And to be successful young leaders or a productive young leader, you have to convince your followers about yourself or your superiors. They are your worthy of being followed. And followers, different people require different styles of leadership. The fundamental starting point is having a good understanding of human nature, such as needs, emotions, and motivations. Their factor have be, know, and do attributes. Okay, how to encourage your own potential, or how to be a productive generation or productive young generation. The first one, you have to know about your potential in yourself, what your strength, how to use your strength to get the power, to get the influencer, or to get the to reach the goal, or to reach your purpose or dream. So avoid or just disobey about your weakness. Just encourage your own potential. There are 5 dimensions in leadership, of how to be innovative and productive productive leader. Okay, the first one, leadership innovation. Leadership innovation. Okay, before before I 5 dimension of leadership information, Okay, I will show you about social transformation first. The world is undergoing important social transformation driven by the impact of globalization, global environmental change, and economic and financial crisis, resulting in growing inequalities, extreme poverty, exclusion, and denial of basic human rights. And the second one, social transformation, is social transformation means the restructuring of all aspects of life, from culture to social relations, from politics to economics, from the way we think to the way we live. And the third one, for social transformation, transformation demonstrates the urge for innovative solutions conducive to universal values of peace, human dignity, gender equality, and non-violence and non-discrimination. Okay, then leadership information. Okay, there are 5 skills. How to get or how to empower the youth, leading to be the world change maker in the society 5.0. The first one, leadership information. Leadership information, what adolescents know about leadership and leaders. And the second one, accurate information is critical. We have to be critical thinking, have to have a critical thinking, especially how to get or provide information that we give and share to others. And the third one, adults help teens discriminate information. Next, the second one, leadership attitude. Leader has a good attitude. The first one, attitudes are learned. Attitudes are constantly altered. And adolescents' disposition, thoughts, and feelings towards identifying themselves as productive leaders. Yeah, and communication skills. Yeah, communication skills. Leader have to know about verbal and non-verbal communication. So actually, there are two kind of communication in the leadership. There are verbal and non-verbal communication. As a leader, we have to know about non-verbal communication from the others or from the followers. Yes, because non-verbal communication 70% is influence of our followers or others. And process of sharing, how to share to others, how to share our knowledge, our ability, our our experience to others, and how to inspire others with our thoughts and with our experience and our information. And the fourth one, leader needs a decision-making skills. Yeah, choosing between competing courses of action. Leader creates this discrepancy between transactional and transformation leaders. Decision-making is a process. It's a process of leadership and how to lead followers or others. And the last one, self-management skills. Self-management skills is so important and it is essential. How to manage ourselves, how to manage our self is more important before we manage others or people. How adolescents react to and deal with the stress in our lives, or ability to regulate activities and pertains to issues of autonomy and latitude control. Yeah, so there are 5 dimensions how to be innovative and productive leadership. Okay, thank you very much for the time and your attention. Okay, come back to the host or moderator. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much for Miss Ida. And then we will go to the last speaker, TS Dr. Bazilah Talip from Universiti Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, for Dr. Bazilah, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Novita. So I'm going to share my slide. Can you see my slide?
No.
No.
Still no, Miss. Or maybe
Why I cannot share?
or maybe you can share in my WhatsApp and I will help for the share screen.
This will be great.
Yeah, Faiz.
My connection is quite slow here. So perhaps the reason why I cannot.
Yeah, maybe you can sending your PPT. We will have for the share screen, Miss.
Wait, I need to use hotspot.
Yeah. Is it working, Miss?
It's working, but the network is very slow.
Or maybe you can check my WhatsApp.
Yeah, just on the WhatsApp.
Oh, yeah.
The WhatsApp just is open. Okay, I send that slide, but it's still in processing.
Yeah.
Yeah, our internet is. So I apologize. Okay, before waiting for that, the slide sent through. So I would like to introduce myself. So my name is TS Dr. Bazilah. I'm from UniKL MIT. So my specialization is more to the user study using the technology. So this topic is very near to me because my research at the moment is focusing on society. So I focus on dengue awareness, using technology for education for young kids. So I'm studying how effective that based on their own experience when using that technology. So most of the application that I develop is based on augmented reality and virtual reality at the moment. So, Miss Novita, have you received my slide?
Yes.
I shared at WhatsApp.
Yeah, Mr. Faiz will share screen. Yeah, just a moment, please.
Okay. So currently, I'm the head of Teknoputra in UniKL MIT. So my job scope is focusing on commercialization of the product as well as to encourage students to open their own startup. So based on their project, normally we encourage the students. So that's my role in the UniKL MIT. So the two speakers, Dr. Doria and Ms. Ida, have explained the definition and moving forward to the society 5.0. So in my presentation today is more about my experience, what I'm doing for my project and how it's related to the society 5.0. So why that I embarking this research area at currently. Is it still not working, Miss Novita? Or I cannot see it?
Just a moment, just a moment. Oh. Yeah.
Okay, I can see. Can you make it as a presentation view?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I can see, but just can you make it like in the presentation mode? The slide in the full screen?
Oh. Just a moment.
Uh, Okay, as the two speaker has mentioned, why that we need to work to that and what that mean by the society 5.0. So can you go to the next slide? So I'm not going to share the definition of it. It's basically same with these two speakers. So have explained how that we to work to that and how that the technology influence and be part of the human being. So nowadays is everything's about technology. So technology can help you and you need to know how to make it use for a good thing when you have the technology and the skill. Go next slide. So this is how that I currently embarking the research in this context of society, how they can influence the what we call as to improve the current that we are doing things. So I have developed a project in IoT, which is to monitoring the mosquito trap. So before when we monitor product, so we have to go to that particular field and then we need to do manually. So when we adopting IoT solution, is making is making us easy to monitor the mosquito trap. So that's how that I use that for the society, which is in Malaysia we are currently toward to combating the Aedes issue. So we are looking forward for zero dengue cases. So in order to giving back and help the society and the government, so we as a researcher come up with a solution that could have an what we call as enhance the existing solution. So developing a new product is good, but sometimes we need to enhance the existing to improve what we could have using the current technology. So that's what I did with my team. So we using the existing product by adding IoT solution where that we can monitor the mosquito trap in real time. And I'm also using the augmented reality where that can assist in terms of education. So in creating awareness toward to dengue cases in Malaysia. So by adopting this technology, is encourage our society to learn and understand how this technology works. Some people they have no idea about augmented reality. So when they have that and using that, so they have the experience. So that's what we are looking forward with the society. We try to share the knowledge that we have as a researcher. We transfer back to the community where they can improve their daily activity. So as a part of using this kind of technology, so we collect a lot of the data. So the data that we have, we study and we come up with the model before we say that using this particular technology is a very good. So we need to have the process before we want to implement and using a particular solution to the improvement of the community. So that's what I'm doing it. So from the data that we have collected using IoT, so we using the mathematical model to do the prediction. So whether or not that location have a potential high case for the dengue. So we use that technology. So apart from that, so we also collect the data from using a survey when we engage with the kids when they're using the technology. So all of the data, we come up with our own model where that they can pursue another solution to help the society. Can you go to the next slide? So it started by product actually. When we do research as a researcher, we tend to come up with the solution by using the existing new technology. So and in fact, the technology is rapidly changed, which is where that we can enhance and adopt in our research. So this is where that we are using AI, robotic, IoT, big data analytics, where that we can help us to come up with a better solution. So when we talk about numbering like society 5.0, industry 4.0, is about adopting a new technology. So when people talk about technology and even now about the AI, so people thinking, okay, are they going to replace us? So to me, there is no such thing that being replaced by the machine. So using machine is a very good as a tool to assist us. But what we need to do as a human being is to enhance our skill, to come out with a better solution, all the machine that we created. So we need to make it a better product. We need to improve that. in order to improve that particular product, so we need to also improve our skill. So that's how that you need to looking forward for that. So when we talk about society, it's also about the empowerment and engagement. So this is why that I'm doing research where that focusing with the community. So when you engage and you use all the technology, you can empower them. So not all the technology that can be adopted immediately, but you can teach this young kid about the importance of that technology and how they can use that for a good things. It's not just for playing games all the time, just watching the video. So they can use that technology to improve their educational skills. Can you go to the next slide? So as a researcher, as a part of you have identified the problem. So you're going to come up with a potential solution. So we need to innovate a product. So based on the existing, or you're going to come up with a new thing. So it's depending on the problem that you have in front of you. So normally what I did, I always working with the industry where that when you want to come up with a product to use for the society, you need to know a real case study. So being a researcher, you can't just do research by your own. So at the end, the product that you develop is not giving back to the society. So it's not the meet the requirement of society 5.0, which is using technology, and technology is a part of the human being. And most of the product that I develop is focusing on the sustainability. The reason why, when you develop IoT, so you need to have all the electricity, and then you need to have a power where that you can send the data to cloud. So is thing that you need to consider in terms of green, in terms of cost, in terms of livelihood of using this particular solution. So in my case, because I'm a software engineering and game design background, so I'm not electrical engineering. So all the product that I develop is using battery, is plug and play. So once I'm using battery, so you need to think how to disposal that particular battery. So you need to think how that you can, when you use a lot of battery and then you not dispose that properly, so it's going to come out with another issue in terms of healthcare or something like that. So what I'm doing now, so we are doing a research how to incorporate with solar power. So all the IoT, all the sensors that we develop, we are trying to design where they can incorporate with solar. So then we can reduce the use of battery. Because my background is not electrical, so I'm not really know how to do the using the electrical to come up with another solution. So that's why I'm using solar. So whatever that you are doing it, even as a student, the project that you're going to develop for your final year project or for your research in the future, so we have to consider this. Because at the end, whatever that we are developing is toward to the society. So we want to giving back. Either is in terms of framework or is a product. So it's something need to be impactful to the society. Can you go to the next slide? So like I mentioned just now, being a researcher, we always try to use what any available solution, technology available to incorporate with our problem, and then we come up with the solution. But before you're going to adopt any solution, so you have to understand the targets of your participants. So in this context is society. So when you say that you develop a product to giving back to the society, you need to understand this is really the solution for that particular society. So this is where the research came from, where that you need to go there, study first before you come up with the solution. Because sometimes when you come up with any technology solution, it's based on your interpretation. So the product that you're going to deploy is not solve their problem. So at the end, it's wasting your time. So that's why you have to understand the society needs before you develop. So like I mentioned, I try my best to think green and sustainable solution for any innovation product I develop. So the reason why, if you are looking to SDG, so in SDG goal itself, they are looking forward whatever solution that we're going to come up is must be green. So that's why whatever that people come up with the smart city, they're also looking forward in terms of using the air conditioner where that is safe and is not using a lot of power. And then they try to use and all the houses and going to incorporate with the solar system. So we are trying to figuring out how that we're going to come up with a product that we can implement this green technology. And apart of that, all the development that we have developed, I always try to have the engagement with the community, which is where that knowledge transfer came from. So where that all the development that you develop, you're giving to the society to try it, that solution that you have. So like I have currently in terms of the AIDS awareness, because it's a quite big issue in Malaysia. So most of the product I developed is toward to combat with the dengue cases. So like I mentioned earlier, you know, to me, there is no such thing where that machine can replace the human. So, but you have to improve your skill. So we have a lot of abundant of software application available. So, and the data that you have is a very lot, you know, is very useful if you know how to analyze that data. So you need to have the skill. So how that you can interpret from the data which is not understandable to become with something that is very useful to your government or to your community as well. Next slide, please. So this is an example project that I have deployed. So this is, I'm using the augmented reality. So we created a book where that we embedded with the augmented reality application. So when we engage with this kid, you can see the faces of the kids. So they are very impressed. So they have no experience using augmented reality. And most of them, they have no, smartphone access. So maybe their parents can't afford to buy each of them one phone. So when you have this kind of engagement to the society, so it's not about that using that. So it's give them to inspire them to study in technology, using a technology. So it can inspire this kid, oh, they can develop something using a software, at this young age. So that's my attention. It's not just go there giving a talk about the dengue and how it's very important to combat this kind of issue, but it's also teaching them where that science and technology is very important. So they will think that how they can develop. It's a lot of questions they ask is about how develop this kind of augmented reality. So they are very they are looking forward to see how they can develop that. Can you go to the next slide? So the issue that I'm facing when dealing with this, Society 5.0 implementation is in terms of data security. So when you have all the information, you collect the data from your participants. So if you are not properly store the information, so the tendency that people can, interfere your system is very high. So you need to, whatever, once you come up with the system where they collect the data, you have to consider in terms of the security of the data as well. So that's where that, the computer security research come in. So these people are looking how that we can secure the data that we have and we collected. And the second that we are facing is infrastructure. So when we talk about IoT, so there are lots of solutions where that you can transfer the data to cloud. So in my case, I'm using long range radio frequency, LoRa technology. So in my country, there are not many infrastructure had been installed in our country. So what happened was when we developed this solution, so when we want to sell that product, so we have to sell with that gateway as well, which is quite expensive for the company to buy that. Whereas supposedly the government have to have this infrastructure ready when we want to work to the society for 5.0, whatever that industry 4.0. So infrastructure is very critical. So the third one that I'm facing is technological readiness. So for example, like augmented reality. So some of the students, they have their own smartphone. The problem is that the smartphone can't be used for that augmented reality because they are not compatible for that particular technology. And in terms of when you use we develop the IoT solution, they require network. So So when we are using the network Wi-Fi, so the problem is that the connectivity. So this is the issue that we are facing. And the fourth one is the technology literacy. So not everyone know how to engage and use technology. So you have to teach them. So that's why I say when you are going to come out with a new product, so you have to study the need of the society before you want to implement that to particular society. So the final one in what I'm facing was is the maintenance cost. So when we talk about IoT, when you want to come up with robotic solution or AI solution, so it's incur cost to maintain that particular application. So cost is, most of the, to me in developing country, they are take for granted in terms of the maintenance cost because to them it's expensive. So they just want to buy that one time and then once it's broken, they just going to invest that later. So supposedly you have to have this cost monthly. So you can avoid system breakdown in a bigger scale. So this is the issue that we are facing when we are talking about society 5.0 and using the technology. So so that is about my presentation. So it's more I'm sharing the experience that I'm doing it based on my project. So the project that I'm doing at the moment is toward to giving back to the community. So the problem that I receive is from the government and from the company, which is we are looking forward toward to zero dengue cases in Malaysia. So all the product that I've developed at the moment is toward to that particular objective. So that's it for me. So if you have any question, you may feel to contact me.
Okay, thank you so much for presentation. Okay, we will go to the next session for Q&A session. For our audience, if you wanna ask question, you can raise your hand or you can write in the room chat. Okay, for first question, this is from I'm sorry, this is for Dr. Bazilah. This is from from Irsyad, from audience from the YouTube. Yeah, we as a productive and younger generation will understand technology. So we share our knowledge with our parents because sometimes teaching technology is very difficult for them. Thank you. You can hear my voice? Okay.
Yeah. So is it your question is teaching the parents, right, in terms of technology? So I'm facing the same thing, so So what you need, what we are trying to engage with the technology with this group of people. So we can't just giving all to them. So it starts slowly. So and then normally what we are doing is something that is really relevant to that particular group of people. So for example, if you want to implement virtual reality, it's not suitable for elderly because of using all these spectacle things. So you have to come up something that easy for them to engage. So that's why this group of people prefer to watch video. It's much easier for them to engage with that using the YouTube. So why not you as a young generation create TikTok or any video platform that can show them, for example, how to draw money using the machine, or to teach them how to use the mobile phone. So if they have a smartphone, so we as a young generation can do that because they are for them it's easy to view the video. It's like a kids, So when although the kids really love to engage with the game or augmented reality, but 90% of their time they are prefer to watch video on YouTube, So they learn from there. So same go to all ages. So people are using the video. That's why we are toward to micro credential education. We have the MOOC platform. So people are using video to teach other people. So that's one of the way that you can share toward as a young generation, share that idea to the elderly or to the people what they want to learn actually, but you know it take time. It's like us, before we can develop things, it take time for us to exploring. So that's my answer. So you can develop or use a social media platform to create a small or short video. Do not make it a long video. You know, normally for me 3 minutes is the maximum video I will watch. You know, especially for educational related, because what we want is the key element toward that particular topic. So make it a short video and straight to the point.
Okay, thank you. And then this is the next question. This is question for Miss Ida. Yeah, this is question from Miss Diah Rahmi. How to make the understanding among the people of the condition of the society now become changing into the society of 5.0, but the atmosphere of the society still protests as a natural as before, not polluted by other things that make people change on interaction with nature and their home at village. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you for the questionnaire ya, for the pertanyaannya questions from whom? Novita from student.
Diah Rahmi.
Okay, Diah Rahmi. Yeah. Okay, I'd like to try answer your questions. Yeah. Actually, we are facing the rapid technological advancement. This is why we need to prepare our young generation to facing the era of society 5.0. The definition of societies, we are solving various challenges and social problems by utilizing various innovations as they were born in the era of Industrial Revolution 4.0, where the internet used on almost every part of human interactions. Rosli internet for everything we need, artificial intelligence, and big data, large amounts of data, and robots to improve the quality of human life is become much more common. As the society 5.0 are growing up, and it can be also be interpreted as a concept of human-centered and technology-based society. So as the young generation, we have to compete ourselves to several skills. The first skill we have to get a critical thinking. Yeah, as a young leader or the youth, we have to get a critical thinking in every aspect. And creativity. Creativity is important to innovate, to be innovative or to be productive in this era. And collaboration. Collaboration needs not only young generation, but you can collaborate with the old generation or the senior generation. And then communication. Yes, communication means what is the role in the society 5.0, because we communicate with different people with different characters, with different knowledge, with different experience, with different goals or different purposes. So how do we communicate with others is influence over our life or our society of 5.0. Information literacy. Yeah, as a young generation, we have to have a habit, new culture, literacy or literature. We have to have many reference in books or in the information literacy. Yeah, and then media literacy, technology literacy again, and leadership. Leadership's not only lead others, no, how to lead ourselves is a management. Before we lead our followers or our people, we have to lead ourselves first. And in initiative, Yeah, as a young leader or young generation, we have to be initiative, productivity, and has social skills. Yeah, so these skills or abilities that today's students need to succeed in their careers during the information age. Only by education, our generation grow exponentially and be the best version of yourself to win in the future competition. That's it. Hopefully my answers catch your point or catch your questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Miss Ida. And then the next question for Dr. Doria. This is question for Mr. Faiz. What ability must a person have in facing the industrial revolution era to be more productive? Thank you.
Can you repeat again, Novita? What is the questions?
What ability must a person have in facing the industrial revolution era to be more productive?
Oh, all right. So in regards to the questions, I have highlighted with you part of the inside my slides just now, where I have highlighted some of the skills that might be needed for the future, right? Some of it are actually more towards digital skills, automation skills, and then also some of the fields, for example, data analytics, artificial intelligence, what else? So we have lots of fields that actually contributed to this area, and also some of the soft skills that might be needed that actually require for you to gain throughout the sessions, throughout your degree year, because from there you can actually gain those experience. I bet some of the universities, they have adopted those skills in the academic program. So in order for you to have that skills, you need to think ahead. You need to do lots of reading. You need to do lots of reading, do some investigations for yourself. What you would like to be? Are you going to, do you have a dream to live in a peaceful environment, such as the one that has been outlined by Society 5.0? We are actually heading towards it. So in order for you to achieve that, I think you have that responsibility. So the responsibility needs to come from your inner self. So what are you going to lead on? So for example, if your strength is actually in IT, for instance, maybe some of you are actually IT students. So please try to select what skills that you really good at, and then what are your intention in moving forward to secure yourself, for example. So if let's say you are really good in databases, so might be you will be a good data administrator. If you are really good in, let's say, for example, data security, so of course your intention is that to create a system that, to prevent people to hack the system, for instance. All right. So please try to dig out through yourself what are you good at. So please, during your degree time, for example, so it is not necessary only during your degree time is for you the opportunity for you to get all those skills, but after you have graduated, there are still lots of potential certificates, for example, or knowledge that you can gain outside. This is for your own good, actually. So if let's say you have this vision in yourself, I think you will be very positive, and you will actually try to support all those planning to helping your country and also the organization to develop this such a peaceful environment for the future, inshallah. So we just believe whatever that has been planned for the country, it is good for the future. And I know sometimes there are hiccups here and there, but inshallah, I think if you try to play a good role, you try to contribute to your country and also to your organization, I think you always can go and proceed and try to did that skills, and then you'll be part of the teams to create such a peaceful environment for the future, right? So yeah, I think that will I hope it will answer the questions coming from the floor.
Thank you so much for your answer. Yeah, and then we still have 3 more question again. This is question for Dr. Bazilah. Yeah. How can individual and community adapt and prepare for change in the society 5.0 era? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for this question, RD. So, how that you can prepare? So, we have been in the pandemic last 2 years, right? So, we have to be open, and then follow what we have now. So, for example, now people talk about AI. So, we cannot ignore that, and we have to learn to adopt and use that for the good things. So for me, you have to be open. Like Dr. Doria said, you have to read a lot. So, and then you need to be prepared what you're going to expect when you're using this application. So, even I think I went to Indonesia last week. We have to download the Sehat application for the COVID. So we also have that in Malaysia, So before we feel that, okay, how about our information? But now we are adopting the situation. We learn from that. So that's why same to AI. They are learning from whatever data that they have. So same to us, human being, we have to learn and just take one step at a time. We cannot ignore the technology, but we cannot obsess to that particular as well. So just follow what in front of you, and read a lot. And once you read, you will know what you're going to expect. But you need to read a very good resources. Do not read, whatever people share on the WhatsApp or any social media platform. Go to very authenticate or very reliable resources. So that's my answer for it.
Thank you so much for answering. I think it's very clearly answered. And then we will go to the next question for Miss Ida Hendriyani. Yeah, for this question is how to deal with people who are apathetic. This is question from Mr. Faiz. Thank you.
Okay, could you what is it? Repeat the questions.
How to deal with people who are apathetic?
Apathetic, it means that difficult people.
Yes.
Okay, so yes. Okay, there are a lot of people, with different characters. So how to deal with the difficult people? We have to know how to communicate with each person. Okay, each person has different character. So it means that we need different communication way. Not all people, we cannot treat people in the same way. This is all about how to communicate is important. Okay, the first one, if you find or deal with difficult people who are apathic, the first one get started fixing it and start with you. Okay, start with you, not start with them or difficult people. Okay, the first one of favorite saying applies in this situation. For example, this like what is it? When we find or when we meet difficult people, we just say what is it? Just a greeting first. Yeah, okay, greeting first. Control the knobs on your side word, or we just do small talk. For example, be honest about how you have contributed to the situation. Maybe your coworker seems irritably about the request you've made. And you know, with dealing with the apathic people or difficult people, we cannot communicate. We cannot mix with them in the crowded people. But in the what is it, silent or calm situation, maybe between face to face or face on face, or between we or with them, yeah, only two persons. And the second way, understanding their why. Actually, every person has why in their life. So we cannot enforce them to be like us or to be like you. Yeah, everything is not about you, but it's not about people. And your friends or comes home, for example, in a bad mood because of situation at work, but you interpret their sulky behavior as directed at you specifically and react by attacking. No, just see their condition or situation before or communicate with them. And what they really needed was for you to assume the best of them and calmly ask if they want to talk about why they are having a bad day or why they are having a good day. This gives them the option. So giving options, yeah, while giving direction, giving options, there are two options, so they can choose one of the best in their situation or in their way, and this gives them the option of talking about it. Not everyone wants to process verbally, right way, and the chance to explain why they are not okay or why are you maybe in a bad mood, or why are you not good at work or in a good at college. Yeah, at work, your college could be dealing with any numbers of personal problems that affect their job performance. Leading with compassion can de-escalate conflict and give you the opportunity to show someone who may be in a great need. Yeah, just give they need and understand their way. What do you want? Just asking. Yeah, not giving direction, but giving optional. And the third one, building bridges. Membangun jembatan, bridging. It may be as a simple as a finding out where they went to college, or their favorite theme, or where they grow out. Try to find some small way to build a bridge with the difficult people in the life. So we have to break the barrier between us and the difficult people, and be sure to listen attentively and ask questions. Ask question, more questions. What was it like growing up in such a small town, for example, or building bridges? Which also mean you have to open up, have the courage to be honest about what you really need for them. Yeah, your college is out on maternity leave and having hard time getting answers for anyone on this project. That's this example. And with your friend, with your difficult friends, building bridges might be as simple as working backwards to get to the place where you both agree on things. Yeah, we both agree we want to rise, for example, financially, or let's agree to use what is it, goals or achieve our long-term goals. Yeah, and the next one, be kind. Yeah, I know it can be hard, even when someone is being upright and difficult. Treat in kindness. Kindness can melt mostly people's characters. Yeah, have the courage to respond to a harsh word with gentleness and patience. Yeah, we have to be patient and kind. You don't have to avoid confrontation in this situation. No, avoid confrontation. So if there is conflict with the people, we have to avoid them. But don't allow your feeling to cause you to live with aggression. So control your emotion and control the situation. And the last one, final thought, the best way to stay on the right track in dealing with difficult people is to remember that on the same level, you are difficult people. It's okay. Yeah, so somewhere in your life, somebody from you had to work with. At times in your study or your college, yeah. If you can remember all the times people have had to show you grace and understanding, it will go a long way to helping you find the grace and understanding to show the others. Okay, there are some tips for you, yeah, to deal with apathic people or difficult people. Thank you. Communication and be kind, yeah, or important, and building the bridge. Yeah. Thank you, Novita.
Thank you so much. And for the last question, this is for Dr. Doria. As we know, Society 5.0 is a concept that allows humanity to use modern technology, based science, such as AI and robots to meet needs and make human life easy. If the goal is to facilitate work, can we still be called productive if everything is done by AI? Thank you.
All right, very interesting questions coming from the participants. Yeah, you can consider yourself to be productive because the reason why the robots and machines being developed is actually to cover up those routine works handled by human being. All right, let's say, for example, picking up, inserting some buttons into a palette, for example. All right. So that will be done by the machines and robots, not the human being. But to be a productive citizens or generations, you need to cater the things that couldn't be done by the machines or robots. For example, in making decisions. Yeah, maybe the data has been collected. We try to use the system or tools to analyze the data, but sooner or later, who are the one who actually interpreted the data? Because there might be some errors. Yeah, you need to double check again the data. You need to have come out with the final decision. The final decision needs to come from the human being because the human mind, the human thinking, human decision making, reasoning, for instance, couldn't be done by the robots or by the human being. So that way, in order for you to become productive, you need to have those skills. You need to know what are the techniques for you to get a solid data, a correct data. I heard, I think lots of you have ever heard generative AI, artificial intelligence tools or applications. Yeah, lots of students are doing it. Even the lecturer also using it to get a final decision. All right. Okay. You can ask the system to create a thesis. You can ask the applications, the generative AI to create, answers for you, algorithm for you, but you need to be smart enough because you need to have those skills to ask the generative AI. Let's say, for example, ChatGPT. You need to have those skills in order for you to get correct data, correct informations, or correct and solid answer. All right. So you need to be a double, triple clever as compared to the machines. All right. So it's not easy. If, let's say, for example, if you have experience on first trial to use the ChatGPT or any tools that help you to come out with some solutions. But once again, the final report, the way how you try to elaborate the answers, the data, it's coming from your own words. So in order for you to do that, you need to have those skills. So I think, back in Malaysia, most of the public university, they allow the students to use any generative AI to help in making assignments, to answer certain proposals or report. But finally, you need to be able to know how to tying all those answers. You need to know how to link and make meaningful reasoning through out of it. So there's a lot of thinking involved. There's a lot of decision making involved inside you yourself. So I think you need to double up the process of being productive. If there's lots of machines or robots or tools that helping you out to sort things out. But once again, to get the idea, yeah, you can use the tools, but for you to plan out, yeah, to make it a solid output, yeah, you can use the tools to help you out, but the final decision is actually coming from the human being. So I think you have watch lots of movies, and then you know, who will conquer the world, and at the end is, of course, we need the human being to actually conquer the world, right? So yeah, it makes us feel scared because we don't want those machines or robots to overcome us or to overrule us, right? So please be prepared at the on how you try to maximize things, how you try to appropriately use those tools with integrity, with you know, with ethics. So yeah, please try to back to the basic. Yeah, back to be basic, be honest, be sincere in doing things, and just bring good deeds to the future. All right, that will be my answer. Scary, yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for Dr. Oria. And I think it's very clearly answered from Professor. I think we don't have no more question again. Yeah, before I close this event, I will go to the next session for them take a picture. Yeah, before we close this session, let us take a photo together. So everyone, please open your camera. Ya, bagi para peserta mungkin bisa dinyalakan terlebih dahulu untuk kameranya. Okay, let's take a picture. I will take a picture on the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Another one. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your keen cooperation. Finally, we come to the end of the webinar today. We would like to say thanks again for all the speaker, for Miss Ida Hendriyani, Dr. Bazilah Talip, and also Dr. Dorida Islamiah Rosli for their wonderful information. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for our audience. And I hope we can meet again in another event in the future. Also, I would like to thank all participants for attending this webinar and making this even more interesting. At last, we hope to have more collaboration in the future with all of you. The webinar for today and here. We hope to see you soon. Thank you and have a nice day for everyone. Yeah, goodbye and see you.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you, Dr. Bazilah.
Thank you. Nice to
Yeah.
meet you, Prof. Doria, Dr.
Selamat Hari
Bazilah.
Raya, Mak Zahir
Yeah.
Batin.
See you in the next event.
Yeah, happy Teachers Day
Yeah.
as well.
Bye.
Oh.
Nice day.
Okay, bye. Assalamualaikum.
Bye-bye. Waalaikumsalam.